All right, guys, welcome to the next race. I'm Adirondack Rick, hoping that you're enjoying this upcoming next race here between sonicam and Penguinpuff. These are 3 and 2 runners, and we're off and running. We're going to start at Link's house, and we got a bum upgrade in the first chest. Joining me for this race is Slim Kirby.
Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? Sorry I forgot to unmute my mic right there.
So this is a match between 3 and 2 runners. The winner is guaranteed a spot in the group stage. The loser has to go into that hungry field in the race-off. Nice tree pull.
Oh yeah, you love getting bombs in the tree pull. That will definitely help for the Kakariko section coming up. It's always really nice to get those as early as possible.
So 20 rupees from the uncle. A key in the sanctuary. Really bad to find that key there because you'd rather have an item at that point. Do get a map check. Green pendant over at Desert. The other 2 are crystals. So both these runners here, we're hoping to get a nice clean race here. 1 and 7, by the way, with the crystal numbers. And what do you think is going to be going through their mind as they know if they win this race, they have a free pass into groups?
Well, I think that'll definitely kind of bring their A game as far as like making decisions are concerned. They're going to be thinking they're going to clear their minds. They're going to think, okay, what exactly is this seed telling me? Where am I going to go next? Just trying to make all those little optimizations to their plane just so they can have a, like you said, a very nice and easy time through this seed.
Slim, this is version 26. There's no such thing as easy time.
I know, but you just have to remember that version 26 is a very dungeon-heavy randomizer for this game. So if you have items that can get you into dungeons, and if you're nearby, it's honestly not a bad time to check them out. It's honestly where a lot of the big gambles in this tournament have actually come up, and they've actually paid off for a lot of different races. So I think as long as they kind of keep that in at least a small, even if just a small corner of their minds, I think they'll be just fine.
Absolutely. So seeing those 3 bombs there probably did relax these guys a little bit, knowing that Aghanim is not going to be required, at least for that item.
Yeah, unfortunately, Aghanim is not off the table completely. They still have to get the Dark World Access Trio Pack, which is the Moon Pearl, the Power Glove, and the Hammer. So they're going to be on the lookout for those items specifically, and until they get those items, they will not know if Aghanim's going to be required or not.
And while, hey, there's a sword. While a hammer, while a Power Glove and a Titan Mid combo gets him into the Dark World as well, you don't have Aghanim off the table until you have that hammer in your hands.
Exactly, and like that hammer is, honestly, I think, especially in open mode, it's one of the most vital items you can get, because even though they have a sword, well, they'll both have a sword in a second, hammer does tempered sword damage, and if you don't get a sword, the hammer can be a very nice replacement for those early parts of the game where you just really need something to combat your enemies.
Getting a sword at 3 minutes and 50 seconds in, how good is that for a runner?
I think that's very good. They can kind of start treating this more like a standard seed. Just the obviously they have to go back to escape at some point and clear that out. But yeah, just having it like they can just treat this like it's kind of a standard seed.
Hey, you got silver arrows.
That's another good item to get too, especially this early. It means that no matter what, you'll have a much easier Ganon fight than the equivalent of not having the silvers.
Getting a sword, getting silver arrows, a very nice find. We need to find a bow that goes with them. Mm-hmm. So we definitely know that the bow is going to be required this seed based on the fact that Eastern is a crystal. Now, bow is always going to be required, but how early in the logic it is depends on where some of these dungeons end up being.
Yeah, exactly. With Eastern Palace as a crystal. I feel like that's kind of a good hint at the very least that rules it out of being in Ganon's Tower of all places. But it can still like be in a lot of different places. When you really think about it, there's really only like 3 chests outside of Ganon's Tower, and that's just an estimation, that are actually capable of being gotten with the bow. So it can literally be like anywhere.
Well, let's see if we need the boots this seed. That's a 20 rupees, so 2 cases where boots would be definitely required, and so far we've passed those. Of course, you'd like to see where the boots are, because that makes your seed a whole lot faster.
It really does. It also takes off a few annoyances off the table, even though Desert Palace is a pendant. If they do have to make some progress in there, boots is always a good item to have, just in case you're not like locked out of doing anything else in Desert.
Penguinpuff is now going to be going over towards Escape, and he'll be checking inside here to see what this sword of him is going to help yield. Sonicam, I'm going to guess, is going to head on down to South Hyrule.
No, looks like he's also going to opt to do the escape play. Honestly, I can understand this, especially since they did just get a sword. They're kind of trying to think, okay, well, I have a sword. Let me do kind of the most recent things that you would normally do in like another seed or in like a standard seed, for example. So escape's the first thing you do in standard mode. May as well get that out of the way. And this is also one of those locations that you can just kind of forget about, and it just seeps out of your mind over time.
And this does already become a quick money seed, as we've already found 2 of the 300 rupees. And also, one of the other things is Sonicam found out that the stun prize pack this seed are 10 arrows.
Yeah, the stun prize pack is something that a lot of people are kind of unaware of. Yeah, if you use the boomerang and you stun an enemy, you can sometimes get an item out of that. And it can be stuff like rupees. It can be pickups like bombs or arrows. It's a really helpful thing to kind of keep in mind whenever you have a boomerang this early on.
So, and it definitely can also work with the hook shot as well. Anything that would end up stunning these enemies. And Sonic's going to go ahead and use the boomerang to at least get the guards off him. So with a key in hand, is any of these runners going to take the dark room gamble? Oh, it looks like Penguinpuff is setting up a death abuse.
The escape dark room isn't too bad, especially on this side. You don't have to worry about the key rat that's in the other side of doing escape backwards. So this would honestly be a good possibility, and it looks like he is going to be taking that play right here. So yeah. He's going to see what's in that dark room chest. We may not be able to see what it is, because in those dark rooms, there are some items that you will just not be able to see until you like check the menu or look at the rupees closely enough.
That was a scary fight there from Sonicam. Got worried that ball and chain guy was going to nail him on those misses, but he got through pretty fine, and Penguinpuff now going downstairs. The question is how far will he go? Will he go all the way? Because with that key in hand, they do have a way to make it to the back of Escape if they are really patient with these dark rooms.
It is an interesting predicament, because there is a possibility that there could be a power glove in there, and there are, because the items stack, like you can find another power glove elsewhere. You can check the other escape chests in a more easier fashion. But
Penguin's
still,
going for it.
Yeah, but still, if you happen to if you have to go through here to get that first glove, then this could be a really good play that Penguinpuff is making and going all the way through it.
Hardest part is going to try to figure out where this key is.
Looks like he killed some rats. I don't know if... Oh, yep, he got it. He got the key. No problem.
And the worst of this is now over with. Just find out what that door is, and he's got himself 3 extra treasures. We have not seen the... Yes, we have seen the map. Never mind. Well... Moon Pearl.
Okay. I'd say that was worth it. That being said, though, they could have gotten a Power Glove and gotten that easier, but still, I mean, it's one less item they have to worry about. That's probably all he's thinking right now.
Well, the thing is, with Penguinpuff, he's got 990 rupees. Once he gets some of the South stuff, he can do the fake flippers and Jesus Walk.
That is correct, yes. Moon Pearl does allow that trick to be used, so we'll probably most definitely be seeing that then.
And Sonicam is through as well. He will pick up the Moon Pearl in just a second. He's got enough for that. Trip over to Zora as well.
Gotta say, very nice dark room navigation from both of our runners there, locating the key rat very, very quickly and making it through it with not really losing very much health at all. So kudos to both of the runners.
Well, it helps out the fact that they have a bunch of parts already in this point in the run, and plus knowing that the rat's going to spawn in the bottom left corner, at least helps you trickle down to where he could be.
That's very, very true.
Penguinpuff going to go ahead and do the mini Moldorm cave. When will he do the fake flippers? Will he skip out on Ice Rod cave, or will he do it immediately? We've seen that Ice Rod cave come into play a few of these seeds now.
That's true. I would opt to check it just to get it out of the way. You never know when you're going to get that flute or boots to make it back there quickly. So I think it's always good to get locations out of the way, even if it is Overworld, and Overworld is kind of contraband to version 26. But yeah, I think it's good to kind of get that out of the way while you're in the area.
Nothing good in. Oh, there's the boot.
Oh, well, there's the boots. Okay, very likely that he's going to be checking Ice Cave then.
Both of these runners are 3 and 2, so a win gets them into the group stage without having to panic in a very, very dangerous group race-off coming up, or a big race-off coming up Saturday.
Well, I'm surprised that one bomb didn't hit either of those two Moldorms. It was right in the middle of both of them.
Got the wonky bomb mechanics there. Now with the easier access to the Ice Rod Cave, Penguinpuff will check inside. And what do we see?
Gloves!
Oh, required trip.
Ooh, that is very nice. They're just one item away from Dark World access.
By the way, now that puts that Moon Pearl back in logic.
That does, yes, it really does.
Oh, that's right. Also, because we got the boots, we got to do the water dash.
Right. Ooh, yeah.
And a bottle of there. So you didn't really see it. Maybe we'll see sonicam. No, sonicam's not setting it up. But what Penguinpuff did is he set himself up by just running himself off the ledge, getting himself a water walk, which allows him to just dash right over the water. He's going to now try to set himself up for reverse fake flippers.
Now, what our runners are doing right now is called a sequence break. So, at this point, the seed is not really telling them to do this. This is just like, if you know how to do this, you can kind of take advantage of it, check some other item locations, but there might be some other items later that will lead them back to this area anyway. So it's a bit of a gamble because of that.
And sonicam the first by just a few frames here. We're going to see what's in the waterfall. This is going to be a long sequence break.
Oh! Ooh. That is that could be a really, really good item to get for this.
And also sonicam, because of both of them getting that piece of heart that completes a heart container, reverts them back into flipper mode, so they have to just reassert themselves here. Now, you don't have to go back in and go back out. Sonicam did that, probably not sure of how to get it back. Oh, just 20 rupees on the ledge. So, where are the flippers? Watch, they just pay 500 rupees for vanilla flippers now.
That could happen. That could very well happen.
Penguinpuff just came back onto the land now. Luckily, he did that in a spot where he can get back out. Nope, just a heart container. Isn't that what we call a life lesson?
Yeah, I mean, very expensive health insurance, that's for sure.
So now with the bow in hand on a sequence break, now we're going to see Sonicam and probably Penguinpuff as well make their way over to Eastern.
Yes, we will. And like you questioned earlier, yeah, I'm wondering now where those flippers are going to be, because they don't technically they don't even have the lamp yet, which means that finishing Eastern is not within the logic to do. So that bow could have been a very, very big skip right now.
Watch them get the bow get the flippers really fast, as well as the lamp. Well, that's rupees. That's a piece of heart. And that's rupees. Never mind.
Yeah, and chat pointing out they have the gloves and pearl logically. They didn't break logic to get those two items. So literally the flippers and the lamp could be in Dark World as far as we know.
If we find a hammer real soon, that is a possibility.
Very big possibility at that point as well.
And people are already calling out for the flippers in Eastern Palace, a double dip, which would, that would be hilarious.
It would definitely be humorous. We are going to get a Master Sword, though.
Oh, boy. You want to know what could be very interesting at this point? If we find a lamp, but nothing much else.
Yeah, if we find a lamp and not much else, that will put Aghanim on the table, and might make him required. There's still some other places and locations they have to check before that, but yeah, Aghanim is pretty close to being required, just as much as the Dark World access.
Three items in Eastern. The question is the bow blocking one of those three items?
That is definitely the question.
Nice quick kill using the sword beams from his newly acquired Master Sword. Oh, bombs is the second item in Eastern.
This is literally the last chance for the lamp to actually be in this dungeon, and it's the map.
So now, by logic, these guys are going right back behind the lamp portion of the logic. So two good items that we are wondering at this point, well, the lamp being one and the flippers being the other. We know the lamp will no longer be in this dungeon.
The question is, will this last item, will it be that third item, or will it be the compass?
The way the seed is treating these guys right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the compass here.
Or a tempered sword.
And it's not! That's a nice sword to find, a tempered sword.
Yeah, there's not much difference between tempered sword Ganon and buttered sword Ganon, so I think that right now the runners have a very solid endgame setup with the Ganon fight, so that's one thing they probably won't have to worry about for the rest of the seed.
Most hazardous dark room coming up, and just trying to figure out where that Igor is. And that tempered sword, by the way, is going to make this a little easier for that Igor once you figure out where he is.
Exactly. With the tempered sword, the Igor only takes one hit. All you have to do is go close to where he is, keep slashing, and then if he runs into you, it's a very easy key pickup, and you can get rid of the other Igor pretty quickly as well.
Much cleaner room for Penguinpuff. I believe he's first up the stairs.
Yes, both of our runners kind of shifting position, kind of back and forth right now.
Penguinpuff was doing the arrow, and let's hope that Penguinpuff remembers that he does have silver arrows. We saw that come into play a little while ago, where a runner forgot that they had it until after the Armos fight.
And that's right, he still hasn't switched, so that could be a thing.
Yeah, just based on the fact he's still staying with wood, he may forget. While sonicam's going to be done with the Armos a lot faster.
Yep, sonicam taking the lead again. The shift continues.
And not much of a difference.
Very clean fight for Penguinpuff, even with the normal arrows. Really good fight.
Absolutely. It may have not been the cleanest of fights, or compared to what sonicam did, but it's still a solid fight.
If anything, it looked like he kind of caught up a little bit, like a second, but like, yeah, like really solid fight.
It'll definitely help the fact that the item came down right near where the crystal was going to come down.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So sonicam's going to be checking the bonk rocks here, and this is where the logic could have an item. And what do we have inside? The hammer! Hello, Dark World.
It may have looked like it was a hammer that came out of that chest, but it wasn't just a hammer. It was an entire dark world of possibilities open to both of our runners now. So they have a lot of different options where they can go now in this seed.
You mean a whole new world?
Yes, I do.
Well, we'll try our best to show you that world. Maybe with a frog in tow later.
Or even a purple chest.
And there's our map. Pod is a pendant. Thieves Town is a pendant. 6 turns out to be at Meyer, 5 at Skull Woods.
Look at that simultaneous map check, too. These runners are just like on point today. The sync is real.
Sync continues to be real as both of these guys will be heading into Skull Woods. And we still have 2 loopholes to clear. That's a piece of heart there, the first item in Skull.
Yeah, chat also pointing out that, yeah, because of the equipment they have and the fact that both Palace of Darkness and Skull Woods are pendant dungeons, it's going to be a very logical play to check both of those out almost to completion and see what those places have.
And so far, we're getting nothing but the keys in this dungeon. And a map. So, will either of these guys press on to the second half? Yes, they will. At least sonicam will.
Of course, both of our runners, they don't want to be apart from each other for too long, so Penguinpuff is going to be doing the same thing.
I really hope that Penguinpuff does remember that he has silver arrows at some point. That would make these give... Oh, he gets grabbed.
Yeah, and the further you get into a seed without equipping those, the more likely it is to forget that you even have them. And we have the mitts. All right. Nice item to get there. Oh, and he gets grabbed right at the door.
Penguinpuff having some issues, and there goes our sync.
Since he can no longer get anything else here in Skull Woods, sonicam is going to leave and probably check out the Bumper Cave item, see what's up there in case Cape will be required or not.
Well, Magic Cape is required if you really want those 20 rupees.
I don't see them going back for that.
Are you sure of that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'd say 98% sure they're not going to go back for those rupees.
That 2% uncertainty.
I guess. You never know what our runners are going to do to make this interesting, so I'm always going to leave it on
Mirror.
there.
Penguinpuff not checking the bumper cave, and that's why he's now caught up to where sonicam is as we check the bombos.
Ooh.
And sink back into the
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Open the chest together. Get the big key. Here we go. Run up.
Oh man.
Here we go over to the chest and simultaneous synchronized opening of the cane. Where's Phantom Ryu when you want him? That would have been quite the stereo sound of the "That's Gotta Be Kane" reference.
Oh, for sure.
Both of these runners are 3 and 2. A win gets them into groups. A loss gets them into a 30-person race on Saturday.
Yeah, and if they knew it was this synced up right now, oh man, they'd be probably pushing even harder to try to win this. Oh my gosh. Oh, Penguinpuff is leaving Thieves Town.
Yeah, you've got 3 out of the 4 items, so you may gamble here. You might get yourself some extra time if that's the case.
Yeah, I do really like this gamble by Penguinpuff. I think that is a good gamble in place right now, for sure. Because, yeah, 3 out of 4, like, I never like leaving items behind, but thankfully, with Thieves Town, where it is on the world map, it's fairly easy to get back to and come back and finish it if you absolutely need to. So I think it's a very calculated gamble to not get this last item.
Well, here's the Bumble Hut. Got 20 rupees. We didn't see that sonicam earlier. Penguinpuff will be probably doing the digging game, and I usually like to get the chat involved in this adventure where we have a dig between 1 and 30. Which dig number do you think we're going to find the item? I'm going to go number 4 this time. I'll be generous.
I'm going to be a little mean and say 20.
Compass, fine. That's meaning we got to dig even further. Well, my 4 is incorrect. Your 20 is still looking good. Well, it's not 20 either.
Nope.
Anyone for number 23?
No, the closest I see is a 21. Oh, and okay, the 2 people who just said 23 right now, I guess.
Yeah, after they got their official unveil from the game itself.
Well, with Twitch delay, you never know, I guess, but
By the way, sonicam here knows that this is going to be a key mushroom find. That's interesting up here on the ledge. On the Haunted Grove.
I just keep thinking if sonicam does find something interesting for that last item, this could be big. It could take this really calculated gamble by Penguin and toss it aside for right now, but we're not going to find until we take down Blind.
So which means the 4th item here in Thieves Town is not behind the hammer block, and we're going to get to Penguinpuff's trip to the artist formerly known as Hype Cave. And that's money, that's fine. That's heart, that's fine. That's a heart piece, that's fine. Arrow upgrade, there's the lamp.
There's the lamp, okay. Not necessarily a required item, but it will, it'll help us get through dark rooms anyway, and it will kind of put them a bit more on track with the logic again.
Ooh, Piece of Heart was the last item that came out for sonicam.
That is unfortunate, so Penguinpuff's gamble is going to pay off here, unless he comes back later looking for an item and thinks that might be the item he needs.
Where's Penguinpuff going? Is he making an early play for Ice Palace? Or is he...
That's...
Wow. He is going to Ice Palace at 30 minutes in.
Going to Ice Palace. I don't know about this play. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I'm not entirely sure here on this one.
Well, if Penguinpuff finds something nice in here, much the bigger advantage to him, but an interesting play.
Yeah, it is. Again, this, like, the logic is not pointing at him to come here. He does not have the flippers yet, so... I don't know. He's not going to find the flippers in here.
Hey, but maybe he might get lucky, find the hook shot.
It's possible. We have seen Ice Palace, the early Ice Palace play, come out in a lot of races, so... It could be good. Like, we just don't know at this point.
Just to answer chat, the bow was found for both of these runners through fake flippering up into the waterfall cave. Actually, logically, because of Penguinpuff finding the mirror and then the lamp, I think routing-wise, this game wants them to go to Tower of Hera.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be a good play at this point, just because, yeah, a lot of chests up there on Death Mountain.
Oh, nice place for the magic powder!
Wow, nice. The Breadsmiths were like, you know, there's an annoying bat living in our cave outside. You go take care of it. You might get an item from it.
And unfortunately, we're not going to see what came out of the Bat Cave, as sonicam just went to freeze mode.
Aww.
Now, the good thing about getting the key out of that first chest is now he has easy access over here. Now, this technically is a sequence break for Penguinpuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he does not have the hook shot or any of the invincibility items, so getting across those spikes is a logic break.
Again, if we find something good in here, it pays off. That's the big key. So by technicalities, that means the big chest and also the cold stair will be beyond the cane cape or hookshot portion of this logic.
Mm-hmm.
And the big chest will also be beyond the hammer port. That's just a 20 rupee. Just in case people were wondering, sonicam has reported that he is locally recording before the race, so therefore there is, in the event that he does not return, we have the ability to see where he's at throughout the entire run.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
300 rupees, and hey, we get a sonicam back, but I didn't see anything new in his arsenal of items from what came out of the bat.
Yeah, I didn't see anything new either. He is going to add that mushroom to his arsenal, though.
Oh, he's got red mail.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Right.
I just noticed the red eyes. Yeah, he does have red mail. Okay.
So that must mean that the magic bat ended up dropping the red mail. That's good find, at least for defensive purposes.
Yeah, he must have found it either there, or did he check out Peg Cave? It could have been there, too. I don't remember if we saw that or not.
Could be. Oh, shovel. That's the third item here in Ice Palace.
Okay, so theoretically the shovel could lead to something. So we'll have to see what happens with that.
10 arrows out of the purple chest.
I'm actually wondering, what if the shovel, like that chest right there, wasn't blocked by the spike room logic, was it?
That one was not.
So what if the shovel is what is supposed to give him like the hook shot or the cape or something?
That is interesting. Let's see how it goes. I'm still intrigued by this play by Penguinpuff. To go in here at 30 minutes into the run.
I'm just wondering if maybe he has watched some of the more recent races in the tournament where an early Ice Palace call was the answer, so maybe he's just kind of playing on that and thinking, well, you know, this could be a big gamble. This could be something that could work out in my favor. So maybe what he was thinking going into this.
Cold stare down pretty easily. Having the tempered sword definitely helps out with that fight.
So now I'm wondering, since we've seen that Penguinpuff is very well versed in logic. Oh no, it wouldn't be a logic break anymore. He has the lamp. Could potentially check out Pod too. We'll have to see. Oh, going to Sanctuary. This is probably the Death Mountain play you were talking about earlier.
He also has the ability to check King's Tomb while he's over here. And,
yeah, that's right.
And that's where he's going. So if that shovel leads to something, we won't know for a little while.
Yeah, probably not until, like what chat's saying, probably won't see that come into play until he does, if he does decide to do the a smithy and purple chest check. Oh, and sonicam apparently just checked the same location.
Yeah, the last we had seen of him, he was heading on towards the desert area, but he's got no way to get in there. Maybe he checked Agina, I don't know.
And they're kind of, I mean, obviously not in sync, but they're making the same play right now. Just with the difference of sonicam clearing out thieves and doing some overworld, and then Penguinpuff checking Ice Palace.
Yeah, that's the real big difference between these two right now, is that Penguinpuff has done dungeons primarily, and sonicam has done the overworld stuff. And don't forget, with the Titansmith, with the hammer and the mirror, and, oh, there's the book. That now adds another place they can check up here in Death Mountain. But I was going to just mention, they have a whole bunch of places they can check on this mountain now.
They do. Unfortunately, they do lack the hook shot, so they won't be able to check every single item unless they know hovering, which, from what I hear, only like 5 people know how to hover in the tournament anyway. But, yeah, like, not all of Death Mountain is completely able to be searched, but that could change. We could find any of those other necessary items up here as well.
And right now we do get the look and see that we don't really have all that much as far as items inside Spectacle Rock or on top of Spectacle Rock. And let's go see what this book delivers.
Just $20 from the sky.
I wish I had money falling out of the sky.
I think everyone does, especially with all the great video games that have been coming out recently.
Absolutely. Tower of Hera, the next stop.
Ether.
Coin.
Yeah, that's one item for Hera down. Only one more to go.
But the question is, will we have to go down to the basement?
Nope. Right. Not right.
Yet.
Yeah, not yet, anyway. Ooh, I love where chat's kind of going right now. If Turtle Rock is Ether or Bombos, they give you Bombos too. They are on Death Mountain. A Turtle Rock call.
What
could be in the works?
Watch they get Quake to cement it.
It's honestly, like, at this point, not really a bad play, because, I mean, if there's something in that first chest and you get locked out from checking the rest of Turtle Rock...
Oh no!
Like,
Penguinpuff falling down. This is the 2-floor drop.
Yeah. Sonicam gets it, though, and gets his map.
You know what that means, Slim?
What does that mean?
Moldorm has the key. The second item's in the basement.
Yes, it is. That's right.
So the question is, who gambles and who goes for it?
Yeah, I feel like since they're both here and it's not too far from the entrance, I feel like they both got to make the gamble to go check it, but I guess the gamble would be leaving, not checking it, but like it's right there. I would personally take the check.
I think sonicam has the bigger choice to make, considering the fact that sonicam went through all of Thieves Town and came up empty after the first 3.
He's going back in.
Well, it's time to take a break. Sit back, reflect. Think about all the bad things that happened to you. Penguinpuff getting knocked down by Moldorm.
And you think about those things while a bunch of tiles are just crashing into your face over and over and over and over again.
How do you usually spend the time while this is happening?
I always just grab a quick drink of water, start thinking about, okay, after I get this item, what's my next play going to be? Just kind of using this nice little 20 seconds, if not even longer, to just kind of reflect on how the run is going.
All right, back to work, Sonic. We have already seen the early school play, and this, 20 rupees. Penguinpuff made a gamble earlier, and now he's not going to gamble this time. He will go back in. Solely disappointed to find the 20 rupees, though.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if he's also if that one chest in Turtle Rock, or not Turtle Rock, Thieves Town, is going to be just on his mind throughout this season. Like, should I have gone through the whole thing and checked that? It's just, again, that's kind of the struggle you have whenever you leave a location behind or gamble on skipping a chest.
No mental break for Penguinpuff. He ended up getting himself too far to the right and didn't get the invincibility frames.
I just like to say that he wants to keep himself sharp, so he opts to fight these tiles just to make sure he's still on top of his game.
That's a good way of putting it. So sonicam, the first one here to East Dark Death Mountain.
I do kind of like the idea of kind of going to the Dark Death Mountain first and kind of using the mirror so you can just kind of check all locations one at a time.
sonicam forgot what one it was he was supposed to go through at first there. It's right for the light, left for the dark. Arrow upgrade up on the island.
Bug catching nets and blue rupee in the first 2 chests in the Light World Death Mountain caves.
And you know what that means. We're all set and ready to go for swagging them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a pretty disappointing Paradox Cave.
Yeah, a lot of bombs and bomb capacity upgrades, but no progression in sight in there.
Is it possible that the next progression item is actually done on a different tablet that they haven't checked yet?
It's very possible, yeah. I mean, they have the book, they have the mirror, you got both of them in the logic, so that is definitely a possibility.
Well, let's see what Super Bunny has, and don't forget Sonicam does have access to one more item.
He does.
Half Magic is nice. Now, logically, nope, not yet. We do not have the logically just yet. We're still missing the Can of Burnout or the Magic Cape.
And I think the number of hearts they have is just out of reach of making that run without dying. So, yep, no. Whoa!
Fire Rod! Nice place for that.
Yeah, there's a dungeon just one screen over. Or that could be of some use.
I wonder what dungeon you're talking about. I can't think of it.
The name, like, I can't think of the name right now, but I think it's supposed to look like a turtle or something. Some kind of amphibian, anyway.
Reptile Rock?
Yeah, reptile. I think that's right.
It is Ether.
Okay, so sonicam, gonna open it.
And with that fire rod, that means that this could be even deeper, whatever the next progression is.
That is true, and if they don't find the ice rod in here, they will not be able to finish this on this go-around. But honestly, in version 26, it's highly likely that you will find something in Turtle Rock. Whether it's a pendant or if it's a double dip scenario, it's not a bad idea to check this place.
And the first chest turned out to be a shield, so this game is immediately saying Fire Rod for Turtle Rock. Now, here's the thing. You notice that first chest was what yielded the Fire Rod in Hookshot Cave, which means that's before the Hookshot block.
That's true. So, yeah, Hookshot could be behind Fire Rod, so...
Oh no, Sonicam messed that one up. He's gonna have to take another ride.
I always remember just absolutely despising this room as a kid playing through this game, and it's like one of the first puzzles you have to do in this dungeon, so it was always just a very frustrating experience trying to light all these torches.
Oh, I agree with you. This is a nasty, nasty puzzle to do, especially when you're off. To answer chat here regarding Skull Woods, we've already found both of the items in there. It was the Titan's Mitt as well as the Piece of Heart, so they're only going to be going back for the crystal a little bit later on. They are 3 and 2, which means this is going to be a win to qualify for the group stage. Loser plays in the race-off. Oh, Penguinpuff. Oh, no. Both of these guys are having issues with this fire torch room. Penguinpuff played it as if he had the hook shot.
Yeah, that happens. Like, when you do so many different rando seeds, you sometimes forget that, oh, right, I had the hook shot to make this a little easier, so, and a little faster, so that can always throw you off if you go in there without it.
Muscle memory.
As far as the tiebreaker, since chat is asking about that, the 6 people who finish first will be moving on to the group stage. So of the max 32, and there probably won't even be that many people since there are some runners who will not be available when the race-off actually happens. But yeah, the top 6 will advance to the next stages in that race-off on Saturday.
And this is going to be a required trip through this key door coming up once sonicam finishes chasing down the Pokey.
Anti-Fairy's being a little mean with their movements here, too.
Now don't forget, sonicam does have an advantage over Penguinpuff in this dungeon.
Yes, that red mail will actually come in handy in here big time. Enemies will be doing much less damage to sonicam than they will be Penguinpuff, so Puff has to be a little more careful when he's going through here.
And not just the red mail, also, he's got the powder.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He does have the powder, too, so... Yeah, sonicam definitely came in here a little more prepared in terms of safety items, but still, I mean, this could be a really, really good gamble on checking Turtle Rock here.
Beautiful play in this room, the 2 Pokies inside. Let's see if Penguinpuff has a little bit better luck. He's got to be careful because, once again, because he's only got the blue mail, these things hit a whole lot harder.
They really, really do.
And we're going to go probably see the Mimic Cave coming up next, see if that leads somewhere. Don't forget, these guys have a bow they aren't supposed to have by logic at this point. We're still waiting to close that loophole.
Yes, we do. We need to find those flippers before that loophole can even be solved at this point.
Vanilla Piece of Heart.
At this point, I'm thinking the flippers, if they're not in here, they could be in Desert, they could be in Palace of Darkness. There are definitely some options on the table for where they could be located.
That's right, because they did get the book. They now have full access to Desert Palace, and also that's the green pendant.
Yep, even Sashrala might have. He may have exchanged footwear from the vanilla game.
That's one thing we know that the shovel is not going to lead to for Penguinpuff. We're not going to find the flippers underground. We're going to find blue goo in that bottle. That's pretty nice for the upcoming Trinex fight for both of these runners, especially for Penguinpuff.
Assuming that they'll actually get to do the Trinex fight.
Ooh, right.
We still haven't found an Ice Rod yet.
That's right. And also being noted that that is the first bottle that we have seen, so Sick Kid.
Sick Kid might be a swimming kid today.
Sick Kid could also be an Ice Rod kid.
Or a hookshot kid. Okay, just 2 chests to go. Red rupees. And
that's it.
The ice rod's not here.
Yep, that's it. No map, no compass. Last 2 chests, that's what they're going to have.
Unfortunately, the tree rock gamble not paying off. It always seems like it's an area where whenever you need to gamble on Turtle Rock, you don't. But whenever you do, there is nothing there. Just randomizer trolling you in a nutshell.
But wait. What about that bottle?
That's true. Yeah, okay. Not entirely. You're right. We have a bottle check first before I can say that.
He opened 3 of the chests, but then realized he does not have the compass. He does not have the map. Those are in the last remaining places in this dungeon.
Yeah, sonicam counting his items, so doing a good job of that.
Ice. Nope.
Ooh.
Money.
Just money. Okay, sonicam, what are you gonna do next? Are you gonna finish up a certain moth that exists up here?
That's what it looks like he's going to be doing next.
Ooh, something he can do right before, or right after he takes off that moth. He has the mirror. He has the book.
He's going to do some reading before he goes to his next location?
Probably. Could also be checking a pedestal too, but yeah.
Well, that is some reading.
That's true. Yeah, you have to kind of look up what the text reads. So yeah, you're right.
Some light reading.
Yes, they have both been to Zora at this point. Don't remember what he gave, but it was nothing to progress.
He was love.
Yes, he was the loving fish.
500 rupees to get you a heart container. We're gonna get the pedestal checked now.
Okay, that's fine too. You just may want to. He can use this information and think about it while he's going to the end of this dungeon, which should be pretty linear and straightforward.
Pocket change.
Okay, well, never mind then. Wow, and Penguinpuff also doing the Skull Woods play too, as well.
You know, as many divergences these guys have made, it's always been hilarious to know when these guys have grouped back together.
And it's interesting because I actually had a race against sonicam in my second main tournament race, and it was the same thing. It was just made all the same calls. The lead shifted back and forth through the entire race, so it seems very similar to that very same race with sonicam. So.
Time to beat up Mothula. Now, Penguinpuff, I really do hope he does remember that he has the silver arrows at some point in time.
Oh yeah, he has still not switched to those. That is, wow.
That's a nice final kill there for Mothula. Once again, we know this is not going to drop an item. We already found both items, so it drops the compass.
Nice compass and a nice crystal.
Penguinpuff done with the bug as well.
I guess that can kind of be the downfall of getting silvers very early. If you don't switch, you will forget about them for a very long time.
So what items are we still looking for Go mode? We are looking for the ice rod. We're still looking for the hook shot.
We obviously need flippers as well.
We need flippers. We need flute. We may need the quake.
That's right. We do not know what medallion is required for Misery Mire yet.
Sonicam's going to go ahead and check the north portion of the grave.
I think Penguinpuff is going to check that sick kid location. Or not. No, never mind. Never mind. He could be doing the same thing Sonicam's doing, so.
Yeah, he could be starting to do the world tour stuff now. Or no.
Yep,
That's where he's going.
Okay. So we'll see what exactly, where exactly the red mail was, whether it's the magic bat or the hammer pegs.
Sonicam heading on down here, and I think the... Oh no, never mind. I thought he was going to go check the Bombos tablet. No, he's going back north. Make up your mind, Sonic.
You may have just remembered, wait, I have a book. I can check this.
Oh, Penguinpuff is playing the amount of pegs here. You notice he didn't knock all the pegs down. That is because the game stores in its memory how many you have knocked down. And when you go back to do the pegs again, you only have to do the amount that you've missed, and then it will give you credit for the all the pegs being down.
That's interesting. I actually did not know that.
I didn't know that until I saw that in Amazing Amphrosis race a couple of weeks back.
So after reflecting on what Penguinpuff is doing right now, I actually do kind of like the routing here. Because if he does the purple chest, he's going to be able to check Bombo's tablet as well, and then jump right down for all the desert checks. So, really, really good routing of routing all this together.
It was a heart container from the magic bat.
Okay, so it must be the Peg Cave where we got the red mail then.
Oh, he's just got to knock down just a few more pegs. Sonicam going into Desert, the green pendant.
And it being a light world dungeon, which means it's not very big and a very quick clear, he may opt to finish it out entirely, which I think would be a good call regardless because of this version. But yeah, we're going to probably see Desert to its completion. And yep, sure enough, the red mail, what? Oh, he's skipping it.
And he's going to go ahead and go back to the light world now to return the chest.
Okay. If he's comfortable with his blue mail, that's fine.
Penguinpuff, though, will opt to stay blue. And he now will go into the dark world here. This is actually really good routing.
Yeah, that's definitely why I mentioned that earlier. Just being able to check all this at once. It's really nice when your decisions kind of come together in a future part of the seed, even if you didn't really intend for that to happen.
Nothing good in Desert, but there's the matter of the green pendant.
Guess Penguinpuff wanted to read a short little story to the purple chest before he takes it to its owner.
Here's the legend of the Bombo's tablet. I held my sword up, and all of a sudden, it crumbled. The end.
Link, you were a poet, and you didn't even know.
Penguin is not going into Desert. He might be making another play. We have yet to see the pod area. We have yet to see the pyramid yet.
It can be very dangerous to kind of just like leave some of these locations unchecked, but as we've seen so far, Desert has not yielded anything and won't yield anything. Bottle from the ledge was the only item seeming of worth value, so could be another very good statistical play, but it's hard to get behind just like skipping chests, especially in a version like this. It's so dungeon dependent.
Well, here's the thing. Sonicam will likely go to pod next.
Yeah.
You know what he's going to do on his way to pod?
He is going to check in that green pendant.
And what if that is something huge that we need in this seed?
And that will be a huge, huge win for sonicam for sure. Like, I'm definitely seeing that.
So now that's a 2 dungeon difference here for these 2 runners. We've yet to see what the shovel turns into as well. And that shovel was found in Ice Palace, which Penguinpuff checked about 30 minutes ago.
And again, the logic was not pointing there at all. Still need the flippers for that.
Oh, Sonicam is not going to go to pod. He's going to turn... Nope, never mind. He just realized what he needs to do now. He's going to go to the Dark World. He's going to go to pod next.
Ice Rod in pod.
Oh, wow. Now, we know that's not going to lead to an item because we've already found all 5 items in Turtle Rock.
We have, and it's just a normal crystal, too, so... the Pyramid Fairy will not really come into play either. So they can quite literally just leave Turtle Rock and Trinex alone until the very end. So that's kind of good. They have that advantage at the very least.
Sonicam, what are you doing? Oh, you're gonna go check the
Yeah,
pyramid.
he's checking pyramid. Maybe catfish. Not sure. We'll have to see if he wants to make that further play.
Breaking news: Penguinpuff remembers he has silvers.
Okay, good. I'm glad to see that he remembered. Wonder if he's thinking, wait a minute, I had these in Eastern Palace, didn't I?
Not that it really saved him a whole lot of time,
Oh,
or
no.
lost him a lot of time.
Was that
flute?
Yep. Progression item on the pyramid.
And what that now means, sonicam can now find something good inside Misery Mire.
That is right, he could. Misery Mire is now open as well.
Unless it's Quake Medallion.
True.
Oh, we've never seen either. We haven't seen either runner turn in the mushroom, have
No,
we?
have not. Nope. Yeah, this probably made the play to catfish a little more inviting, just because, yeah, he had the mushroom he can turn in as well.
But it's just for a bomb upgrade, so
Yeah.
nothing good for these runners.
No, Penguin has not checked the shovel yet.
He probably wants to close the loophole in regards to the flippers before he even turns in the shovel.
That's probably a good idea. So if that shovel ends up giving him like hook shot or maybe even Quake Medallion, like we said earlier.
Cape.
Cape. Okay. But yeah, like if the shovel leads to one of those items, it'll continue to kind of push the flippers out of the way in terms of where they're personally heading. They might get the idea to check other places, so
well, here's the thing.
He has flippers.
That cape now closes the loophole in regards to getting to the right-hand side of Ice Palace.
Wasn't shovel not in that path though?
But it wasn't. But we're starting to close some of these loopholes.
Okay, fair enough.
And Penguinpuff is now done with this dungeon. He's going to leave.
And sonicam is gonna start doing some fluting.
Where in this world is the flippers? There's so many places where it can be now, just because of all the progression we've found.
First, let's see what the
It's the Quake, it looks like.
It's Quake. Yep, I saw that. Okay, so let's add one more item to our Go Mode Tout. Flippers!
Right there! Okay! Now everything is starting to close apart.
Okay, so yeah, that's... Now we don't have to worry about the whole sequence breaking everything anymore. We now know where all the items are, the progression that both of our runners have kind of skipped in terms of their own sequence breaking, so we're kind of on point again.
And Penguinpuff now going to go pick up the flute. And sonicam now heading into Ice Palace.
I don't know. I personally would have maybe. Oh no, I can't. Didn't have Quake Medallion. Never mind.
Yeah, tough decision to make to go into Misery Mire without the Quake Medallion.
Yeah.
I'm still interested in what that shovel yields, because now this is the next step in the progression.
Mm-hmm.
Could the hookshot be buried underground?
Hookshot could also be in its vanilla home, Swamp Palace, as well.
I think we're starting to run out of possible locations
We really
where
are.
it could be.
Yes, there was a ped check, and it was only rupees. It was couch cash.
It wasn't even couch cash, it was pocket change this time
Oh
around.
yeah, pocket change.
And there's the bad news for Penguinpuff. You don't have that medallion.
Not yet. Did Sonicam check Checkerboard Cave?
Yes, he did. It wasn't anything good
Okay.
in there.
I guess we were still reacting over the flippers that I just didn't realize.
Yes, that was one of the things that got us off guard at that point. Penguinpuff has not checked Desert either, so now we're gonna probably. Oh wow, sonicam! Get the bomb jump and then fall into the pit.
Hate when that happens. That's...
Yes, I got it. No,
Oh.
I don't got it.
Yeah. It's especially worse whenever you have the hook shot and you decide to hook shot over to that pot, but you're not lined up properly. You grab the other block and then get pulled in the pit that way too. It's just like, oh no, come on. I just made this.
Wait a second, Slim.
Yeah?
Did we see sonicam turn in the pendant?
No, we did not. No, he just... Yeah, he went to the Dark World to check the pyramid and catfish first.
He was about to, too, and he decided against it.
That worries me a little bit. Guess he's kind of in a let's clear crystals mindset right now. So maybe he'll opt to go back there when kind of the crystal dungeons are done and he can start moving on to the pendant ones. But yeah, like, interesting that he was right there and did not make that check.
That's right, and Penguinpuff at this point is going to move on. He did not even get the big key out of Desert. Penguinpuff is playing as if he does not need to make that visit.
Yeah, but at this point I'm just curious to see where he's going to go next, because he did check a little bit of pod. He's already got an Ice Palace taken care of. So what is going to be his next play?
Find the Bloomerang was at Agina. I don't know if sonicam checked it, but we did have a little bit of an outage for sonicam in that general area.
Yeah.
Both of these runners are 3 and 2, so a win gets them into the group stage without having to panic through Saturday. The loser, good luck. That 30-person race awaits them, 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday.
Penguinpuff doing the mushroom check right here.
Yeah, he'll be real thrilled to find that this is 10 bomb capacity upgrade.
I don't know. I don't know if he'll be that thrilled, but he will grab some potions, which is... Honestly, it's a good way to justify this visit, even if you don't have... Even if it's an item you don't really need or want.
Whoa, bucko, no empty bottles. I like how they changed the text for that.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, we're getting a shovel check now that Penguinpuff has got the flippers.
Yeah, now that everything is kind of come to open, now he's probably thinking, okay, let's see what this shovel will lead us to.
If it's the Quake or the hookshot, big news. No.
It's colored like a Quake medallion, but that is not a Quake medallion.
Just give it to the swordsmiths and have them melt into a Quake medallion.
Ooh, getting blocked by the dead rock.
So what is Penguinpuff up here to check?
Probably
is
Spike
the big.
Caves, since he has.
That's the only real place he can go.
Mm-hmm. As we already mentioned, yeah, Turtle Rock has been completely cleared of items from our runners, even though they didn't finish it. So this is really the only item he has to check right now up here.
Yeah, there is absolutely no reason to go back into Turtle Rock at this point because we found all 5 items in there. So if we don't find anything in this spike cave, it's getting pretty much down to the point of there's gotta be something at Sarashula.
Ooh.
That's a piece of heart. That's not it.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now, Sashwala. I really can't think of any other locations. I think that might be the only one. Or no, Swamp.
Is Penguin making the play?
Double dip Swamp possibility. Maybe a hook shot in here to fully clear it.
Maybe Quake in here to get to the hook shot in Misery Mire.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like the play he's making.
Yes, it is, for sure. I always find it a shame when this kind of thing happens because Go Mode Swamp is so beautiful because it's so short, doesn't take any time at all, and it's literally the same way every single time in Go Mode, and it's just really refreshing to just kind of breeze through this dungeon. So it's kind of annoying when you have to full check it, but you have to do what you have to do sometimes.
sonicam is not going to be making the play over towards the Palace of Darkness. And now the question is, will he turn in the green pendant? We are looking for a Quake Medallion. We are looking for the hook shot.
Okay, here's the Sashrala check.
Here's the check for Sarashula. Is the green pendant needed? It is not, unless you really wanted 10 arrows to begin at the end. So that is good news for Penguinpuff.
Yeah, that is very good news for Penguinpuff, definitely.
sonicam will be reunited with his ice rod. Now, how many items did Penguinpuff get out of this Palace of Darkness? Did he get all 5?
That's a good question. Like, it didn't seem like he was in there for very long, but he may have.
He either left behind some keys, the map, or compass, or something else. And if it was something else and it's a required item, that is going to be an issue.
Quake.
There's the Quake! And he's saying goodbye. Much bigger play for Penguinpuff if it turns out that the hookshot is in Misery Mire or at the double-chested fairy.
Yeah, really, like, as much as I don't really recommend skipping chests, especially in this version, it looks like that is these gambles that Penguinpuff has made definitely paying off. 'Cause yeah, he has just one item left before Go Mode, and that's such in a good position right now to be in.
Two items in Misery Mire, plus the double-chested fairy for another 2. Sonicam here. Nice punt. But I think he punted it too far or into orbs or something like that and couldn't get the switch to work his way.
He got it now, and he is moving on to the backside of Pod.
Creative use of a Canis Mario block in order to get one of those guys to move on over. We've seen 2 items that I know of here, and I'm going to try to keep better count. The cape is 3.
Yeah, the cape was here too. At this point, it almost feels like Penguin is kind of gambling on the, okay, maybe if I just get like one important item in a pendant dungeon, maybe I'll just opt to leave and not worry about finishing it. That seems to be what he's been doing. I mean, even though Swamp's not a pendant, obviously, but he couldn't do it without the hook shot. Oh,
and it just paid off as the hook shot is found for Penguinpuff, and at 1 hour 49 seconds. Penguinpuff is now in
go mode.
With the boing, boing.
Yeah, like right there, like just like I said, kind of taking that gamble, risky gamble, of just kind of going into dungeons you can't clear yet, or dungeons that are pendants, and just saying, okay, if I find something, maybe I'll take the risk and leave. And those gambles paid off exactly, because immediately after getting that Quake Medallion, came over to Misery Mire and got the last item he needed to complete this suit.
So that means a double dip was required.
Mm-hmm.
In our good old friend Swamp Palace. But now he can truly go mode it.
Yes, he can. And yeah, it looks like he in Palace of Darkness, yeah, Penguinpuff did clear it out completely, so he did get all 5 items. Big Key, Map, and Compass were left behind in the last 3 item locations appropriately.
Yeah, so that's a good move, counting your items, because that's sometimes hard to do with all the chests that you come across in Palace of Darkness. He did. And now because of that, he was able to escape as fast as he did.
Exactly, and then yeah, with especially with all those keys you have too, which sometimes, because you're opening so many doors, you kind of lose track of your items even more easily. So yeah, it's a really, it can be difficult in Palace of Darkness for sure.
So Penguinpuff now in go mode. We'll go ahead and complete this. Has to go back into Swamp, finish that off, and then back into Turtle Rock for the finale.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Penguinpuff used... Oh no, he couldn't even get to the key. So yeah, he can essentially just go mode the rest of Swamp anyway, so that'll be a pretty quick clear regardless.
Yeah, it wasn't that nasty of a swamp, except for the fact that you have to reset it all over again. But even there, this is a phenomenal path here for Penguinpuff. He gambled on a lot of various spots. The 4th item in Thieves Town, the whole left wing of Swamp, and these gambles are paying off. Penguinpuff is very lucky tonight.
I will agree completely. Like I said before many times in this commentary, it's just so risky, especially to like gamble in dungeons as well. It seems like items are just very biased to being more likely to appear in dungeons. It's just leaving an item behind, especially when you don't have to leave it behind. You can clearly get it. It's just such a huge gamble in this version. But Penguinpuff just having a good feeling about it, and because of that, he is going to be rewarded with probably this race.
And now Penguinpuff heading over to Swamp. We are going to see sonicam pop into Swamp, but about probably at this point, what, about 5-6 minutes behind where Penguinpuff is.
Yeah, pretty much. They're both going to be in Swamp, but for different reasons entirely.
So your Penguinpuff, you're now heading back into Swamp. You may have done a little extra overworld stuff. You may have done a couple of other things that you may think your opponent hasn't done. What's running through your mind at this point?
Well, at this point, like, again, it's always hard to know what exactly your opponent's doing, because even I find that when I'm racing someone, I'm also kind of thinking in the back of my mind, okay, what will they think I'm going to do, and can I change it up to be different in my own run? Here, it's kind of hard because Penguinpuff did actually make quite a bit of calculated gambles that did pay off, so it's hard to know what exactly is going through his head right now, because not having to do the second half of Thieves Town was a very, very good call. It saved him a lot of time, and just does not know what exactly his opponent is doing. A 120 go mode around, that's not too bad, especially for this version, so he's might feel like he's in a good spot, but can't really know if he's in a winning spot right now or not.
If I'm Penguinpuff, I'm thinking I'm in the lead. There's no reason for Penguinpuff to be thinking he's not, because based on the gambles, it's definitely based on the gambles.
Exactly. Like I definitely agree with that.
And if I'm sonicam at this point, and he already got the Quake and he's not leaving, but at this point, he's got to hope that the hookshot's in here. Because if it turns out not to be in here, and this is speaking in his perspective at this point, he's got to be feeling really behind.
And it's really hard for me to even say that because honestly, I think sonicam's routing has been really, really good, and he's like made some very, very great calls. It's just all the gambles Penguin took just really, really paid off, and he won't know that until obviously once the race is over.
That's correct. Now, sonicam, once again, probably has the same idea that Penguinpuff is doing the same thing, so maybe sonicam might have a lead based on execution. But, again, it comes down to the fact that Penguinpuff made gambles, and the gambles that Penguinpuff made paid off to a point that Penguinpuff now has that 6-minute lead because of it.
Yeah, exactly. And Chad does bring up a good point. They both did do the Turtle Rock gamble, which didn't really pay off. They didn't get anything that progressed the seed in that dungeon. It'll be a quick clear on coming back to it, obviously. But they don't know that the other person did that. So, honestly, they both could be thinking that, well, maybe I am behind just because of that. Even Penguin, with all of his gambles, took a really big gamble in actually attempting Turtle Rock. So, it's, again, really, really hard to call exactly, but I do agree that Penguin probably has a good feeling right now.
Well, we'll find out what is going through both of these guys, both of these racers' minds when we get them in for the post-race interview. sonicam now going definitely into Misery Mire. Time to go get yourself a hook shot.
Yeah, and once he gets that hook shot, he can just make a nice little path to Vitreous, finish him off, then go back to Swamp, finish that off, and then just be basically on the same route Penguin's currently on.
And a fun night of races continue on. We have this one going on right now. We got another one coming up at about 9:30 once we wrap up here, but we've got a matter of a Turtle Rock and a Ganon's Tower to take care of here first. Going to be Zero Rush and Amazing Afros coming up next on this channel, so stay tuned for that. Penguinpuff hates jellies right now.
Yep, he does.
That's gonna be a bad feeling when you get pushed out by one and you aren't even in attack yet. And well, he gave that jelly what you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whenever you're going through that room, it's always best just to not do anything until you're completely sure you're out of danger. Penguinpuff did not attack the jelly, but just trying to get off the platform when he did reach his location, that kind of threw him off. So, gotta be kind of careful when you're on those Samaria block platforms.
Yeah, there's no worse feeling than
Then you gotta do the whole room all over again.
And these guys have already taken enough of a ride. Ooh, sonicam, not enough firepower to light all the torches.
After thinking about it, it is very unfortunate that the seed kind of went the direction it was, because in this mindset, once you got the flippers, the seed logic was telling you to go to Swamp and check that out for the Quake Medallion. But as far as sonicam is concerned, because he obviously did it around that time as opposed to Penguinpuff, who did it much earlier, he kind of was probably using the logic that, well, okay, I can complete Ice, so let me go through Ice first. I can't fully complete Swamp. So he could have been using that logic to justify going to Ice then, and as a result, missed out on potentially doing Ice and Go mode.
Yeah, the ice pass and go mode is definitely a good feeling. Just unfortunate that none of these runners got to be able to experience it, but it's how Randomizer plays.
Yep, exactly.
And don't forget, in the logic here, the game wanted you to get access to Misery Mire via the flute, and then eventually finally make your way up to the waterfall to get the bow, and then finally complete Eastern that way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And don't forget, based on where that ice rod was, that was not part of the that was part of the first three, so therefore the ice rod in Turtle Rock was placed before the bow in the logic.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, it definitely was.
Penguinpuff done with Trinex. Gets a nice burrito for his efforts. And Slim Kirby, we have something we're about to do.
Yes, we do. We're getting ready to see our first look at Ganon's Tower, which means it's time for our favorite game that we play whenever we get ready to go to Ganon's Tower. There are 22 chests that could have the big key. You are guessing which number chest that big key is going to be inside. So number 1 through 22. And yeah, we'll see where that big key is going to end up. I'm going to go with 8 today.
I'm going to go one above you and go 9. And also don't forget, if you are a sub or have donated 250 or more bits to Speed Gaming, you're eligible to play for the leaderboard. But we definitely want to see your guesses, so get them on in. So Slim goes 8, I go 9. Let's see where it's going to be. Oh, interesting. Penguinpuff is going to go check the torch first.
And looks like he's just making a straight up left side look.
Could this be the Dark Magician route, though?
That's true, it could be. Oh!
Big key in number 2!
Number 2.
Wow!
And with the 2 keys that he's got, he's already ready to go up there, so... Alright.
Slim, we talked about Penguinpuff and gambling in this seed, and they've all paid off. How about that one?
Very, very nice. That's all I can say anymore. I mean, he's obviously showing that he knows when to gamble, and he's showing a perfect job of that in this scene.
We're gonna have to ask Penguinpuff what the lottery numbers are for tonight.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of my first questions too.
I'll let you ask that one.
Okay.
Just amazing. When you're on, you're on.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's been doing this with blue mail and making it work for him. And he passed up the opportunity to get red mail.
Yeah, he saw the red mail. It was right in front of him. He just had to pick up a pot and grab it. But nope, he decided to go on with blue mail. So we're getting through everyone's favorite part of Ganon's Tower, and I say that maybe a little bit sarcastically, the gauntlet.
I didn't detect any sarcasm in it.
Well, I assure you, it's there. It can be really difficult making it your way through that section. Enemies just acting differently in seemingly every single playthrough.
I thought it was the best place on the face of the earth.
I would have to disagree with that.
Filled with much memorable enemies, great activities, spikes, beamoses, the beeping noise when I get hit too much.
Oh, no, I guess it's a little later, but not long after that, you see the skull Wizrobes, which only appear in this dungeon.
Pretty much the entire lead here for Penguinpuff is gambles that paid off.
Yeah, he immediately mirrored out after checking the first 4 chests in Thieves Town. That was a good first gamble. Didn't do... did he even check parts of Desert, or did he just stay away from Desert entirely?
He did pop in, get to the first 2, but he did not go and get to the green pendant.
Yeah, so he didn't do that. He didn't check the 2 left side chests in Swamp, which is what sonicam did. So all those little things is what's kind of amounting to this giant lead here. Also, slightly more efficient routing when it came to the blacksmith and the purple chest, since he did that alongside his desert check and the bombos check. So just little things like that really just kind of started adding up over the course of the whole scene.
And we find a shield upgrade inside the final chest. And now it's time to go visit Aghanim and see what bad patterns we're going to have this time around. And for what the seed has provided to both of these guys, we're talking still a very decent time.
And yeah, especially with a triple right there on the first hits.
Oh, got himself a little bunched up there. But a 3, 1, 2.
Yeah, 3 cycles is still really, really good.
And Penguinpuff heading off to the Ganon fight. Tempered sword, silver arrows. Half magic. I don't think this is going to be a problematic fight whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially with that cape as well. If he wants to put that on for just a little bit, just to get some extra hits, and just not worrying about the bat damage as much in Phase 2. He can also use the cape as well if he wants. Actually, no. There is another race starting right after this one. Same channel, probably around 9:30 after this one wraps up. So there's still more Randomizer tonight, and just this has been a busy night, packed with Randomizer across all 4 channels. So no matter what, you'll probably find something on one of the channels.
Yeah, we got Zero Rush versus Amazing Afros. Both of those runners are 4-1. That's coming up at the bottom of the hour. Meanwhile, Penguinpuff now getting on to stage 3 of this Ganon fight. And the whole thing with tonight's sets of races here, this is the next to last night of the Swiss portion of this tournament.
That's right, with the tiebreaker race on Saturday, all the matches for this week have to get done before the end of tomorrow night. So that's why you're seeing like such a high influx of these races in these last few nights, because there's kind of a time limit in place right now.
Ooh, good idea by Penguinpuff to pull up before he tried to get the second torch lit, because he was going to be in some trouble if he didn't. And here we go. That's a nice double. And into the corner. Final silver arrow. And Penguinpuff avoids the hell that's going to be a big race-off.
He does. Everyone send in your GGs in chat right now. He did a great job. Amazing gambles. Amazing race. This was really fun to watch.
This was not an elimination race, but the loser of this race gets to play in that 30-person race-off on Saturday for the 3-3s. You don't want to be in that, especially with some of the heavy hitters that are going to be in that race.
And with some races still have to be played tomorrow, there could be even more heavy hitters involved as well, so definitely want to be on the lookout for that.
And the official time for Penguinpuff, 1:41:15. sonicam falls to 3-3 in the tournament. And again, this came down to Penguinpuff just making the right gambles.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of good gambles that were made in this run. And yeah, I'd say that those gambles is what the difference here.
And with that, we welcome in Penguinpuff. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
so,
GG.
Yep, GG's indeed. You now save yourself from having to go into the elimination race.
That's insane. I don't even know. I can't even process this right now.
I do have one question. With some of the plays that you made, skipping the second half of Thieves Town, immediately mirroring once you get the Quake medallion, can I get some lottery numbers from you? I might need that gambling luck very soon.
Yeah, I can't even process what happened right now. I think after the T-Rock gamble, I was just like, I am so behind, so I have to do everything like very, very well. Go ahead.
Little did you know that sonicam was behind you at that point.
Oh wow, okay.
And every gamble you made paid off, and it only enhanced your lead.
only after a point. Like after the T-Rock thing, that did not work out at all. At the very least, I knew there wasn't any items up there.
Well, the good thing about that gamble anyway is that sonicam made the same play at around the same point that you did, so you didn't necessarily lose like any time against your opponent with that play. And
okay.
He, although he did it much later than you, he also did the full clear of ice without go moding because he didn't have the item that he needed for go mode yet. So he also did Ice Palace the whole thing as well. So you didn't really lose any time on the other gambles that you did make that didn't really as much.
That's crazy. Wow.
One question I had is, what was the kind of the mentality for going to Ice Palace as early as you did? Because that was very, very early at that point.
Oh, I think there are a couple of things which are like gambly, but like pretty okay. I think going into Ice Palace early is pretty okay if you can finish it. If you're missing flippers, because then you kind of get info on where the flippers can be, which is like always like info is like extremely valuable in rando. As long as you like have ideas about things like items, where their locations like might be, then you're gonna feel good. And you're gonna play good if you feel good.
I really like that mindset. Yeah, intel is very, very important in Randomizer. I feel like it's almost downplayed a lot. But yeah, getting information on all the different things, whether it's, like you said, the narrowing down where the flippers could be, and even just like pedestal checks and stuff like that. Just intel, very, very vital, I think, especially for this version.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend going into Ice Palace like blindly for no reason. Like there always has to be a reason. Like if you're missing flippers, it's a pretty good reason.
Yeah, it was amazing that you went in there at 30 minutes in.
Yeah, that early game was like really crisp. Like I did the escape to the back and I got the Moon Pearl, which let me do the Jesus walk to get the bow. Like that was, I was freaking out. I was like, if sonicam doesn't do exactly this, I'm gonna be in a pretty big lead right now.
And that's the funny part. The beginning for you two was incredibly synced. There was like, and it was basically where you two kind of shifted off was in Thieves Town, because he opted to full clear Thieves Town, and you both were pretty much in the same room at that point. You mirrored out, he continued. Then you went to Ice Palace. He did a bunch of overworld stuff, and then you kind of got back together when you both went to Turtle Rock. But then after that, like, you just continued on with those gambles that you made earlier, and that just really, really paid off for you.
That's crazy. I can't believe it.
Just gonna ask real fast if you could advance over to your credits, please.
Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm actually not on the same floor as my computer. Just give me a moment.
No problem.
No problem at all.
Penguinpuff's official time was 1:41:15. We'll talk to him in just a moment once he gets the credit scene going for us. sonicam ended up going right-hand side, and will be a little upset when he finds this to be over on the left.
Yeah, especially when it's going to be the last chest he opens, too.
As I mentioned before, that's part of the gambling.
Oh yeah, definitely. I honestly, and like, you'll see a lot of runners also kind of check right-hand side if you do get a key in one of those first two chests on the right side, just because like it's kind of inconvenient to do the entire left side and go, okay, let's go to the right. It's kind of cool just to get that right side out of the way first, and then you may not have to make the entire trek through the whole left side. So if anything, sonicam may have been thinking, oh, he finished not too long ago. Maybe the big key's on the right side.
Yep. And little did he know that it was actually on the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
I love Dark Magician. Whoever that man is, he's a genius.
Yeah, that when you came back, we were gonna ask what prompted you to go left-hand side. Did you think you were behind at that point, or was you just doing Dark Magician strat?
Oh, Dark Magician for life with like a Y instead of an I.
Yeah, it paid off. Number 2.
It's pretty good. It works out a lot, and you don't have to kill those skeletons in that room because that's the worst.
Yeah, that's yeah. I might actually start doing that now too. I never thought about it that way. Yeah, you can ignore those skeletons.
It's like
exactly.
5 seconds saved, maybe.
I'll remember the move that got me into brackets in the secondary tournament. That the fact that going that side got me an extra sword.
That's nice. Yeah, this seed was nuts. We got like tempered at I don't know, 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, that's right. The tempered sword was actually but beyond the first dark room of Eastern Palace. So you got both the Master Sword and tempered sword in there.
Yeah, and then you never found another sword.
Probably in GT somewhere. I've pretty much cleared the whole game.
Yeah, we didn't exactly see much of GT from your side.
Yeah.
Let me see. Key on the torch. Oh, let me see. Big key. Oh, let's get one more chest. Oh, here's the third key. There we go. We're done. But definitely congratulations to you. You now are secured a spot with all the other 4-2 records of making it to the group stage. You get to sit back and watch everyone just go completely bonkers Saturday at 3 o'clock.
It's crazy. There's so many people who are like much better than me at 3-3.
And some of them might not even make it into the group stage.
Yeah, it's terrifying. It's not a position I would like to be in.
That's why winning this race is very, very important. Going back to your Eastern play with the matter of killing off the Armoses, was that a matter of you forgetting that you had silver arrows at that point?
Yep.
Yeah.
Second race, we've seen that happen today.
It would be nice if just like a nice quality of life if when you got the bow after silvers, it would just auto-equip or something.
All right, but I understand why they don't because of the whole lag thing. But still, yeah. Interesting though. I thought that was that, but thankfully you did remember, especially when you got to pod.
Yeah, I'd like open the menu at one point. I'm like, wait, why is there a Y on the bow? I don't remember this.
That's right.
That would have helped out. At least I remembered before at Misery Maya.
And Sonicam going and picking up the final chest, which for him will be the Riot Shield.
Also, another thing that we found surprising was you skipping out, just saying no to that red mail that was on the floor in the peg cave.
Hey man, that's like 2 seconds. I can't waste 2 seconds against Sonicam.
And if you ended up dying, you'd count those 2 seconds to be longer, but hey, you get those 2 seconds back now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, honestly, if you're confident with what you have, then yeah, it's really not a big deal. And like, you obviously didn't have any problems with dying or being close to death or anything. So yeah,
it's funny. You feel really, really safe with Tempered. Like if you have Master Sword, I probably would have picked it up. With Tempered, you're like, I'm invincible. Let's get through this game.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that, especially with I mean, there's not really that much difference between Tempered Sword and Buttered Sword Ganon. So yeah, when you have a Tempered, it's like, okay, I'm good to go.
And Sonicam finishing off with the Aga 2 fight, and will make his way on over to the Ganon fight. I personally did like your little patience once you didn't get the fire rod shots to work properly to make sure that you didn't make a big mistake at the Ganon fight.
Ah, yeah. Well, actually, I was trying to get like a triple, but then I messed it all up. So yeah, I wasn't going for a torch clutch or whatever.
Right, but at least at that point you had the presence of mind to say abort, abort.
Yeah. Oh my god, I was so nervous. This whole race, I was so nervous. I'm sure like you could see it in the play. Like I'd flute to like a location, and then it'd be the wrong location, and then flute to another location that was also wrong. It's like, yeah, I was shaking.
Well, you made the gambles you needed to, and as I said, you're now 4-2.
Feels good.
Yeah, and even with doing Armos Knights with just regular arrows, like you still finished that fight in like seconds. Like it honestly looked like there wouldn't have been much of a difference even if you had the silvers equipped at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll want to go back and watch the restream because at that point you and Sonicam were in sync.
Oh, yeah.
So you're gonna see the difference, and it was only like maybe 2 or 3 seconds.
It's crazy.
Maybe that's why he skipped down in the red mail, because he had to get those 2 seconds back.
Okay, yeah.
Sonicam getting him over to the corner. One more hit. There it is. Sonicam has finished the seed. And as he makes his way into the final room, we'll give you his official SRL time. And we'll put a lid on this race. 1:54:37, the official time.
Throw your GGs in chat. Such a very, very entertaining and fun race to watch.
So wait to see if sonicam wants to come in for an interview. Yeah, it looks like sonicam is going to go ahead and pass on an interview, which is totally his right. So, any last words you want to say about this race?
No, I'd quickly just want to shout out Alucard, because after he beat me in my second race and I went 0-2, he's the nicest guy. He was like, "Don't worry, the dream's still alive. You can go 4-2, no problem." And I'm like, I don't believe you at all. Like, I'm gonna get eliminated next race, and here I am, 4-2. Thank you, Alucard. Gave me a spirit energy.
Yeah, don't be surprised if you see a message in your inbox later saying, "See, told you."
And thank you so much, guys, for commentating. I hope it was entertaining.
It really was. Thank you for racing and be a part of this tournament. This is a really fun race to watch, and you did good. GG, completely.
Yep. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
sonicam, Penguinpuff, both of you guys, thank you very much for joining us. So we're going to be going on to another race in just a moment. It won't be me and Slim on the mic for that. We'll have another team doing this race. It's going to be between Zero Rush and Amazing Amphros, the battle of 2, 4, and 1. Trying to get to 5 and 1, which will get them a better placement in the upcoming group stage.
And yeah, just because Penguinpuff run that race, sonicam is not out of it yet. He still has a chance to play for one of the last remaining 6 spots that will be for the group stage of the tournament. So if you want to check that out, again, that'll be on Saturday at 3 o'clock. And there's still a lot of races we have to go before that race-off even happens, the conclusion to week 6 of the main tournament. So check a look out in the schedule for that. A lot of races to come. There's one right after this, as we've already explained. And when we get into the group stages, we're going to be going through all the races again. So yeah, even more rando. A lot of rando for the next several weeks. If you enjoyed this, consider watching more races. It's a lot of fun. Such a great tournament. A lot of great people are involved with it. And it's just like I've had one of the best times of my life being a part of this tournament. So definitely consider just checking out as much action as you can.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and toss it to our next crew. They'll be setting up in just a moment. It's going to be Little Games and Duke Firebird on the commentary for that race. So for everyone who helped us out, for Blast Egg, our tracker, for Fiesel, our restreamer, and for Slim Kirby, my partner in crime for this race, I'm Adirondack Rick. Slim Kirby, send us on over to the next race, please.
Okay, and thank you, Rick, for commentating with me on this as well. A lot of fun, and yep, let's get this next race started. Talk to you guys later. See you next time.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's ready for another exciting randomizer match between 2, 4, and 1 competitors. With me, I got Little Gabes.
Hello there.
And, of course, I'm Duke Firebird. So it looks like we're going to be getting set up here. Looks like Zero Rush is doing a little bit of practice with with Argus. Nothing wrong with a little practice now and then, right?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think I remember in my matches when I was practicing I was just doing Master Sword Silverless Ganon. Fun way to pass the time.
So, Duke, what are you predicting tonight?
In terms of winner or
Pedestal seed, Aghanim seed.
head seed, one of those. Well, I'm the one who likes Troll, so I always like Aga plus pedestal required. But I think I haven't seen a pedestal seed in a while. I just saw a couple Aga seeds, so let's go with a pedestal seed this time.
I can get behind that. What do you expect to be on the pedestal?
That would remain to be seen. It's obviously going to depend on what the pendants are, but I want to have something I haven't seen before. I've seen the flute. Can't have the hammer, unfortunately. Can't have the lamp. How about one of the medallions? Let's put a medallion in there.
I can get behind that. Now, do you think it'll be blind pull, or do you think they'll have book?
That's a good one. Let's give him the book. Let's give him the book.
Ooh, someone's feeling generous tonight.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. But have it be a late book, so it's like that'd be like give them the book. Give the book off of Mothula. So then they're right there, but have them not have the mirror. We'll make it a little bit harder. Friday says, why can't hammer be on pedestal? Because I believe 4 dungeons require the hammer. I believe. I could be wrong.
Let's see.
Palace of Darkness, Swamp,
Ice Palace,
and Turtle Rock.
Yes.
Yep. So at minimum 4. And Thieves is a question mark. But Thieves is not. It's not required. No, Freddy. If because only 3 dungeons can be pendant, since the hammer is required to enter to complete 4 dungeons, the hammer can never be on pedestal. Am I wrong on my logic?
For...
They're saying the hammer can be on pedestal.
I mean, in theory it could. I think it would be a very...
Oh, yeah, I had backwards
specific
thinking.
situation.
Yeah, I was having backwards thinking. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you.